Good morning. I'm Jennifer Torres, and this is today's headlines. In Israel, the election for a prime minister remains too close to call. Neither party has a clear majority after about 91% of the votes have been counted, which will send their country possibly into another long period of negotiations. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia expected to name Iran as the culprit behind the drone attack on their oil facilities. Saudi Arabian officials saying it will take 3 to 6 weeks to repair the damage done and bring oil productions back up to normal output. Headlines purport the White House inserting itself into the UAW strike against GM. The only evidence being a tweet from President Trump that they should hurry up and work out their issues. Politico says sources close to the matter say the Trump White House is coming down on the side of the UAW. The Dow closed down about 24 points yesterday. The S&P up 7.74 and the Nasdaq up 36.37. This is That's What She Said. It is Wednesday, September 18th, 2019.
Hi.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Hey, that's what she said. That's what she said. Yes, that is what she said.
That's What She Said with Jennifer Torres. Is it Torres or Torres? Uncommon news talk with only half the bias and all of the innuendo. And now your nag of news, your dry box of information, your topic tramp, Jennifer Torres.
Good morning. Can you hear me now? I had some audio issues earlier. Hopefully everything is working nippy, dandy, and ducky now. I am Jennifer Torres. This is That's What She Said. And launching video in go. Oh, hello. How are you? Let's start our morning with our daily hello, shall we? I'm hoping that this is effective right now. Let's give Lep a call. Hopefully all of my audios are working okay today.
Good morning, Mojo 50. It's your daily hello. Happy hump day, everybody. Today is National Cheeseburger Day. Yum. Air Force's birthday. Go Blue Angels. It's National HIV, AIDS, and Aging Awareness Day. Few women admit their age. Fewer men act it. I know I'm guilty of that. I may have to grow old, but I plan on remaining immature forever. Hope it's a great day, everybody.
Hey, Leb. So, do I have to admit how old I am? Like right now?
No, ma'am.
Is that the way this works?
No, you don't have to admit it at all. Yeah, women don't have to. And like it said, the line was, fewer men even act it. So.
Well, no, we all know this. We know this. And but I'm looking here at my Mojo 50 mug, and rule number 3, always come clean. So I will admit right now on the air and to you, since it's just me and you right now, technically, I'm 38, at least 38.
Well, 38, that's young. I, believe it or not, have some combat boots from back when I was in the service that are older than you are.
I believe it. Well made. American made. Thank you so much, Leprechaun. You have a great day, hon.
You too, my dear. Peace out. Y'all have a great day.
Okay, that was fun. I just love it when a plan comes together and things work out. And as I'm saying that, I want to tell you that headlines are brought to you by Cat Coolers. CatCoolers.com, made in the USA. They keep your cold stuff cold for how long? Up to 7 days. And I feel that as I've been speaking about Cat Coolers, I've been missing out on reaching out to the very important millennial market. So for our millennials out there, as I boost my audio, because I want to make sure that you can hear me without too much stress. The 88 quart cat cooler, not only is it super cool, not only are there, is it, you can have a lifetime warranty and keeps the cold stuff cold and all that sort of thing, but it is large enough for a human body. And this has been tested by the guys on the morning show. Brad, I believe he speaks from experience in this. So what I'm saying to you is that by purchasing the 88 quart cat cooler, you are in effect having your own safe space that you can carry around with you anywhere that you go. So for the investment, come up out of mom and dad's basement, ask them to use their credit card, make sure they use the promo code JENN, Jen, for 10% off. They'll appreciate it. See, you're doing them a favor so that whenever they purchase you the 88-quart cat cooler, you have your own safe space. You can, if you can see on the video, they have the bright yellow and, yellow, but you could do the oppressive white, privilege white, or the Antifa black. I'm pretty sure you're going to stay completely away from the camo unless you're hiding in some pot fields somewhere. But it could be useful. You never know when you're going to have an onset of sensitivity panic attack hit. You never know when you're going to be triggered. So it's important to have your own large cat cooler with you so that you have a place to crawl down deep inside and just close that lid and be surrounded by the cool darkness and just, think about what your future would look like with Bernie Sanders as your president. And it will help soothe you. Take your toy, stuffed bear with you. There's room for you and the bear inside the 88-quart cat cooler. Also, that one comes with pre-mounted fishing rod holders, but what you probably don't know is that you can also use that to hold your selfie stick and your cell phone. So it's perfect for the millennials. Just saying, catcoolers.com, promo code JENN, JENN, for 10% off of your entire purchase. So it is Earworm Wednesday, and I didn't want to let anyone down. So let's see what we have for an earworm today. Ha! That's all you get. That's my earworm. You know what I love about that earworm? Not a big deal. That song, of course, from the Footloose soundtrack. I personally, when that song gets stuck in my head, it's no big deal. And I have a house full of men. I've got 3 sons and a husband. So if I'm singing, let's hear it for the boy, that's all good. But when that earworm gets stuck in the head of men, you make sure that you thank me later. All right? You jackals out there. All right, for the news going on right now, the markets are watching with bated breath as Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is expected to make another 25% cut to the interest rates. Has he done that yet? I don't know. I've been prepping, so I haven't had a chance to get on the news and see if it has been done. Is it a done deal? I don't know. I'm not going to waste your time as I try to search the interwebs right now. The market trading down in expectation, a little down. Nothing major. Major effects on the markets yesterday. There were some disappointing numbers from Adobe and from FedEx. FedEx stock took a plunge after they announced a revenue decline. So this quarter compared to the same time last year. Part of the reason for that decline is the loss of a large customer, they said. So who is the large customer? Amazon. Amazon used to use FedEx for much of their shipping needs. But as Amazon has begun to expand their own airline and deliver services, they've now jettisoned FedEx as a major service provider. And that hit, along with some other factors, have caused FedEx to, stock fall nearly 10% in after-hours trading. For those of you who have your retirement tied up in FedEx stock. FedEx is one of those major companies, like we're looking at the issues with GM and so forth. FedEx, one of the major companies in the United States who still offer good benefits to their workers. And they're specifically non-union. How are they able to do it? Because they take care of their employees. Honestly, over time for companies, it is better to work with your employees, take care of your employees, provide them what they need, as opposed to get unions involved, because unions just suck cash out of the entire situation that could go toward the workers and could go toward the profit points. They offer the usuals of affordable health care, even though, the employees do have to contribute, and pension plans and 401ks and so on and so forth, that a lot of companies dropped after Obamacare and everything got more expensive. They are still feeling the pinch right now from modernization. Amazon changing the way things are done. Walmart trying to follow suit. So we're going to see how that company responds moving forward. And there are times, ladies and gentlemen, when I do get interested in what is happening with business, and certain businesses in particular. That's not like a stock recommendation, if you're that kind of person that does that kind of thing. Things that did make me happy yesterday. Was anyone able to watch Corey Lewandowski? Former Trump campaign guy sitting before the House Judiciary Committee in what I can only describe as an apt example of the effectiveness of federal government. I want you to, let me pull up my sound effects here. I want you to hear a little piece, and I know a lot of people playing clips from what happened yesterday, because it was fireworks, but it was governmental fireworks, which is, takes on a different tact. It's that whole very proper, "You, sir, are a blathering idiot. I smack you with my glove." It is a different kind of rudeness, although the tenor's gotten a little more in your face since Trump took office. I love that. It's time for a little honesty, shall we say. So I just wanted to play a tad bit of the, let's see, what is his official? The ranking member of the Judiciary Committee from Georgia, Mr. Collins.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for introducing this hearing, which is now, as you said, under the new rules.
Quotation marks.
The old rules are the new rules.
New rules.
These were new. These rules were here all along. And yet, here we go again. We're going to say that they're new because we like the packaging. I've never seen a majority so amazed with packaging in all my life. You know why? Because they can't sell what's inside.
He's getting all excited. I can't show you the video yet.
Just
Sorry.
keep packaging it differently. I think we should call. I agree with my chairman. I think we should call this for what it is. It's just another simple oversight hearing. In fact, no, I think it's actually become this. It has become, let's read the Mueller report for audiobook. That's what we become. We had Mr. Mueller here.
I actually listened to the Mueller report on audiobook, and having it done here in this sitting with these voices and these people would make it far more interesting. And I do think that the American people, A, would get to know their representatives that they've elected to Congress 500 times, and B, might actually learn something. Just saying.
A long day of it. Judging by all accounts, it didn't go real well. For the purpose of what you've proclaimed for over 9 months and almost 2 years, that there's impeachable offenses, as my chairman has said, clearly in the Mueller report. But here's the problem. 17 of the members of the Judiciary Committee have said that they think the president ought to be impeached. So why are we still investigating it? 17, you get some more. The problem is you don't have the votes. You don't have the numbers, and even if you got it out of this committee, you don't have it on the floor. That's your problem. So the thing that we're going to do is we're going to drag this committee through oversight hearings, talking about things that have been talked about ad nauseum. We're going to talk about it. We're going to put filters up. We're going to say what it really is or really is not. While in all the things, we're going to try to imply that this president shouldn't be president.
And this is really what it gets down to. And part of his frustration is this was going to be, Lewandowski had already been subpoenaed, quote unquote subpoenaed. And this is one of the things that Mr. Collins referenced. So when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, hoping that things go right for me today. Pray for me, won't you?
I'm Bill Freitas. Are you in need of pro audio equipment? I need it! PA systems, compressors, mics, stands, speakers, custom cabinets, new and previously owned, with affordable payment options. We promise. You need Musitech. M-U-S-I-T-E-C. Musitech! Call and ask for Frank. With over 20 years experience in the pro AV world, he can help you find the equipment you need. Visit us at musitech.net.
So exciting when good things work out for crazy people like me. So, trying to have this conversation with some people yesterday, including my husband last night, who said he really appreciated, and it's weird when this happens, saying that he really appreciated the way I kind of break it down for people who are not well-versed in governmental proceedings and governmental procedure. So the House Judiciary Committee originally had asked Lewandowski if he would come before them and talk to them about the little snippet that's about him on page 90 of the Mueller report. And Lewandowski said, absolutely, no problem. I'll be there. I've talked before all these other committees. I'm happy to come in and talk to you guys. And then for show, and this is one of the things that House Representative Collins got upset about, for show, they went ahead and subpoenaed him. So now if he doesn't show up, he is, he's a House federal government subpoena and he's not doing it and he's a bad person. And they can, again, the headlines can be that someone within the Trump campaign or someone within Trump's circle or within the White House is ignoring a subpoena. So that gets them, great press, great headlines. And Nadler, the one who's, leading this entire thing, the head of the Judiciary Committee, he is just hot on this, still pushing, still gnawing on this bone of impeaching Trump, even though Pelosi, the head of the House, not behind, well, kind of behind it, but not in the face of everything behind it. She's trying to actually be the more reasonable statesman, which is odd. Who thought we would ever get to that point? I think her old age is starting to mellow her a bit, just like we've seen it do to Mr. Biden. So Mr. Collins upset because the subpoena comes out and then they change the rules about the hearing where he's going to appear. Now this is an impeachment hearing. This is continuing to investigate whether or not there are grounds for impeachment. So it's not technically impeachment until it makes it to the main House floor, and it's not going to make it to the main House floor until it passes through this Judiciary Committee, and they decide after all of these hearings and hearings and hearings that there is enough evidence to move forward with impeachment. So they will continue to bang this drum. Lewandowski, in the first question from Nadler, managed to waste 10 minutes of the committee's time, and it was absolutely fantastic. So as you're watching and you're thinking, some people are like, this is such a waste. This is such a waste. It's such a waste for the American people. Exactly. They are not passing laws. They're not getting involved in our lives any further than they already have. Now, the Republicans did take the opportunity during the hearings yesterday to continually bring up the fact that what we could be doing right now is handling immigration law so we could help fix the issues at the border. Bah. What we could be doing right now is looking into background checks, gun laws. Bah. What we could be looking into right now, healthcare cost. Nah. Instead, what the Judiciary Committee is doing is continuing to push to impeach Trump. And instead, what the House itself is doing, just passing a law, forcing that all schools will have a non-gender bathroom, because that's important. And I don't care what the sign is on the door. I've gone into a men's room plenty of times if the line at the ladies' room is too far, and I don't care if they got a door on the stall. It's not like it's anything they haven't seen before. As long as it's not a place with small children, that would be weird. But like if you're at a bar or something, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, today, the next part of the show continues, the next part of the circus, where Inspector General Horowitz is expected to meet before the esteemed committee. This is going on as his office is still finalizing its report into the misconduct that went into beginning the Russian probe. Are you hearing me? This is going to be fun. And in the end, and Nancy, she's been waving the flag. She's been saying, look, y'all, don't do this. Don't do this. Sound effects turned off. Jenna loser. Let's do it again. Oh, there we go. I feel better. She's saying, don't do it, y'all. This is not a good idea. This is not what the American people want. The idea of, for the Democratic Party moving forward with impeachment in this election year, bad mojo. And I'm not talking about for the Democratic candidates. The Democratic candidates are going to use it as talking points. And we'll go further into that anyway, as we will, and I will continue to talk about it as long as they annoy me with it. The Dems in the House, they were barely able to get back their majority this last time around. Okay, so the Dems in the majority right now, really important for them to hold up certain legislation as long as there's a Republican president. As they continue to act this way, it is going to affect their ability to hold on to certain seats and may not bode well for them holding the majority for the House in 2020. Can you imagine? You think they're triggered now. 2020, Trump win, and the Republicans take back the House and the Senate? Oh, my Lord. Those 88 quart cat coolers are going to go flying off the shelves as triggered people seek a safe space all over the country. You're welcome, cat coolers. So, hopping on bandwagons, the Democratic presidential candidates. And we all know, like Robert Francis O'Rourke saying that he's going to take your AR-15. And he's getting deeper into the discussion of how he would do that. Now he is saying that it's not just going to be a gun buyback or, a gun purchase from the government. They're going to impose huge fines if you don't hand your gun over. There you go. So if you don't buy Obamacare, they were going to make you pay huge fines. If you don't turn in your gun, they're going to make you pay huge fines. Oh, that sounds like a fantastic idea. He's doing a great job, isn't he? No wonder he's barely creeping in 2%. I don't think Beto's a serious challenger. I really don't. Elizabeth Warren, everybody's talking about how huge her crowd size is. Oh, it's so big at her meetings. And we know Trump just had another record-setting crowd, New Mexico. I dare say, considering where she's sitting in the polls right now, still not beating Biden, but her crowd size is so much bigger. Can we just admit that she's padding those crowds? Please? Can we just admit that those photo ops, they're being padded, and I promise you the people showing up for her, the people that they're finding and bringing from wherever to pad the crowd size, they're not being paid a living minimum wage. But Kamala Harris, I thought I was understanding. She was part of the hearings when they were looking into Kavanaugh before he was named to the bench for the Supreme Court. And she tried to put on a good show. And she looked really good. She's not a bad-looking woman. It's the reason why she's been able to work her way up in her career the way she has. And Kamala Harris, can you believe that crap? She still has something to say about Kavanaugh even after the correction to the New York Times article. And criticism of her sticking to this position has come from an interesting place, I thought, yesterday. So when we come back from this break, if I can maneuver my computer properly, criticism from this coming from an interesting place. When we come back from this break, give me 2 minutes 2 minutes, don't check out on me. And I will talk more about this when we come back.
That's what she said.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The entrepreneurial spirit is to dream and to do. We are building America.
I'll give you 5 minutes on the air. Tell me what you love. Tell me about what you do. Tell me about your product, your services. I'm Jennifer Torres, and this is That's What She Said, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Friday.
Building America.
Contact me, Jen at uncommontalkradio.com.
Mojo 50.
I love my entrepreneurs.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
Hi.
Uncommon news talk with only half the bias. That's what she said with Jennifer Torres.
Good morning, everyone. It helps when I turn my microphone on. Good Lord, I am just absolutely losing my mind here with all these buttons that I have to push. But you know what? If you want to know what the heck I'm talking about, you can find out more about me by going to mojo50.com and make sure you register while you are there. mojo50.com/mojotv. It's Mojo50 TV. It's a little bit wordy, but you'll find it when you get there and you get registered and you go to the Mojo TV. And there's only a certain number of shows that are on the Mojos right now, and we'll get more video going back up and going again, but that's okay. You'll survive. My website is uncommontalkradio.com. You can email me directly, especially about anything that has to do with building America. Jen at uncommontalkradio.com. And you can find me on Facebook. Please do. Like me. I need more friends. Like me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter at TWSS Mojo 50. Hashtag Topic Tram. That's me. And I'm on MeWe, our favorite non-Facebook platform. How can we not love them? I am. It's time for the percolator as I have my coffee this morning. My half-calf decaf espresso. So let's see if I can bring down my graphic. Or not. It just doesn't want to go anywhere. There it goes. And boom. Okay, I love it when things work. This segment brought to you by Combat Flip Flops. CombatFlipFlops.com. Why do we love them? We love them because they are a veteran-owned American company. And these gentlemen served their country with honors. Many of them in Afghanistan. And after they were in these nations and they got to know the people, there's the governmental stuff that's going on, and all of that's very frustrating. But that's not necessarily the people's fault. But their wars and their maneuvering and the United States having to step in, it hurt the people on the ground. And so they go in, they buy up military assets, they start factories, and the next thing you know, they're making flip-flops. These flip-flops, they're bad for running and even worse for fighting. How would it be combat flip-flops? Because we're combating ignorance. We're combating hopelessness. Peace through trade. So if you go to combatflipflops.com, support them. Make sure you use the promo code SENSE25, SENSE25, SENSE25. Yes, it's a leftover code from my show before, but you know what? That's okay. It still gets the point across. Let me just make sure. Everything seems to be working fine. Also want to talk about my good friend, Russ. If I can get my graphic to go up. Russ with the truckfederation.com. Okay. So there's Tropical Depression Imelda. That one has begun dumping rain on Texas. Hurricane Umberto, as it's no longer a threat to the United States. It already did, it was just like a tropical storm as it went over the Bahamas, which was bad enough. The Bahamas have gone through enough. Still trying to get support to those people. The island just laid waste during the last hurricane. But now Umberto is a Category 3, and that one's headed for Bermuda. It's like, screw Bermuda. I don't care about them. They're further away. The Bahamas is like right there. We're talking like a really quick plane ride. Anyway, this one's sustained winds of up 115 miles per hour, and we got another storm out in the Atlantic making its way toward the Floridas. And right now it's just a straight track toward us. But when these storms are 2 weeks out, a week out, they can't fairly predict. And why am I talking about this? There are other disasters in the United States right now. There's, earthquakes and wildfires and AOC. And out of all of these disasters, there is one organization that takes 100% of what you give them and puts it toward helping with disaster relief, and that's TrekFederation.com. I have signed up to become a volunteer. You should do so as well. Get a really cool t-shirt. But also knowing that you're doing what you can. You can help monetarily. You can donate goods for whatever is needed. And then you can also be hands-on as much as you want to be able to help people in your own community or around the world. So that's all I've got to say about that. See if I can pull my graphic down. Genius. Kamala Harris and criticism from MSNBC. Say what? Okay. So apparently, all right, again, I understand when the New York Times article came out, and this was all stuff taken from a book that had come out. I don't know the name of the book. I haven't actually read the article. Don't care to. Don't want to give them the clicks. That's the reason why the New York Times is doing this. They've admitted as much. They're so failing. So the article comes out, and in the article it says that there's allegations that some woman says that friends of Justice Kavanaugh shoved his wiener into her hand. Yeah, I've used that excuse before at a college party, haven't you? It just fell in there. Hot dogs down a hallway, folks. Okay, so the story was missing important information like the accuser, quote unquote, wasn't the accuser. It was just somebody who happens to be a friend of the Clintons said that they saw it happen. So it's 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon here. And then the accuser herself also, but this was in the book at least, that she doesn't remember it happening and none of her friends remember it happening. It was just somebody said that somebody said. But they failed to put that in the New York Times article. Okay, but without knowing that, when all of these Democratic candidates came out over the weekend and said, well, we need to impeach Kavanaugh. Obviously, we missed some details. They rushed the process in the Senate to confirm him. We need to impeach him. Okay. Hashtag me too. I get it. If there were any truth to the story, even then it would be tenuous. Come on. His friends pushed him into her. How is that making... Anyway. Like, I need to show up at more parties like that. I'm just saying, I'm an old woman. You get your action where you can. No, I get plenty at home. I'm kidding. All right. So the problem is that after the correction came out and the New York Times blaming an editor, saying that, just the editing process is so intensive and they were probably just, in an overabundance of caution of making sure to protect the name of the supposed, what is she, a victim of falling into a penis? They accidentally just cut that whole paragraph out. And it's all the editor's fault, and he should have caught it. And but regardless, it's all over the news that it was corrected. But Kamala continuing to push forward with the idea of impeachment. So Harris told Rachel Maddow. So she's on Maddow's show, and she says, yes, I call for impeachment. I believe it's the clearest way for us to get an investigation of these allegations, and we should open up an investigation into the new allegations. Okay. Joe Scarborough gets on Harris's case later. He says, as a prosecutor, she really should put alleged in front of the word victims. Are you kidding me? That is almost like, what's the word? Journalism. She should put the word alleged in front of the word victims, especially in the case in the New York Times essay, the baffling editing process that they put forward. He said, noting that the alleged victim of the alleged incident doesn't remember it. Lovely to see Dems actually having the sense to criticize Dems. And there is a lovely young representative, and she's a member of the squad that they call themselves, not the big four. There's not the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It's just that larger group of women who are all freshman congressmen. She has gone ahead and introduced legislation introduced to start impeachment hearings into Kavanaugh. Again, after the reprisal came out, after the correction came out, she doesn't care. They think that they need to impeach Kavanaugh now. Here's what's fun. So the House of Representatives is working on impeaching Trump, and then add to it an impeachment proceedings and hearings into Kavanaugh. They are dooming themselves, absolutely dooming themselves for 2020. All these things make me smile. So something to make you smile this morning. Nancy Pelosi. She showed up on Mad Money. And I just wanted you to hear a real quick clip of the conversation here.
But they cannot continue to violate our trade relationship. I think the president
Speaking of
had
China,
to do something about it. I'm not sure he went the right way. I think we should have done it multilaterally with the EU and the rest. And what I would say is, whatever path you want to take to improve a trade relationship, do not empower the other side to hurt your farmers and your consumers.
Okay, let's just take that bit by bit right there. Nancy Pelosi said, China's been screwing us over. Okay, and I'm giving you the edited version. She admitted China's been screwing us over and something had to be done. Now, she's been in Congress, 40 years? And nothing's happened. But, I digress. And then she says Trump had to do something about China, admitting that our president was in the position that negotiations, something had to happen. Now, here's where people are falling short. We've been negotiating with China since the beginning of time, And those negotiations have gone nowhere, and we keep giving in to China and giving in. So Trump comes in, new guy on the watch, and says, okay, I'm going to try this. We're going to sit down with you. We're going to see what happens. And his people come back and say, look, China's saying no to just basically everything. They're saying everything's fine for them. Why would they change anything? They appreciate you reaching out, sir, but they have no interest in changing the status quo. And of course they don't, because it's been to their benefit. So Trump says, all right, fine. We're going to have to play some hardball. I'm from New York. I'm used to playing hardball. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give them tariffs like they've never seen before. Huge. I don't think we're empowering China because China's suffering. They're suffering with their issues in Hong Kong, and their people are suffering, and their monetary values devalued so much, their economy is struggling. They are losing money. They are losing production facilities. They're starting to experience what the United States experienced 10 years ago. I don't know how long China can hold out. Nobody does. And that's part of the reason for the market fluctuations. And everybody's like, what's going to happen? What's the Fed going to do? Recession's on the horizon. They're banging this drum of American farmers, American farmers, American farmers. Yes, China bought a lot of our corn. But again, government manipulation in our own markets and the overproduction of corn that's been taking place for decades, that doesn't necessarily bother me. You have the fields. You can grow something else. I know you're frustrated. I understand, farmers. You are frustrated, but just like every other American business. Give you an example. I love my husband very much. And he had a business. And when we come back, you're getting ready to hear about his business, and I'll explain why it is what it is now. Coming up.
Hi, I'm Bill Freitas. Are you in need of pro audio equipment?
Oh, I need it!
PA systems, compressors, mics, stands, speakers, custom cabinets, new and previously owned, with affordable payment options. We promise. You need Musitech. Musitec. Musitech. Call and ask for Frank. With over 20 years experience in the pro AV world, he can help you find the equipment you need. Visit us at musitech.net.
Ow, I need it. Sorry, I blew up the microphone. Blew it up. Speaking of blowing up, I have a story about that later. All right, so that business right there, Musitech, that was not how it originally started. Prior to the housing bubble and the recession, that business model was DJ service, events. What happened when the market changed? What's the first thing that many corporations, many businesses cut? Entertainment costs, speaker costs. Those things are extra and excess. Why brides and weddings? If you want your big fancy wedding, all of a sudden you're not going to spend the money on a DJ when you can hook up an MP3 player to a speaker and save that cash and use it to make sure that the entire family has an open bar. I know if I had the choice between a live DJ or an open bar, I'm just saying, the market changed. So instead of the government getting involved and saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to supplement DJs across the United States until the market turns around. We're going to create new opportunities and have the government itself start hiring more DJs for ridiculous functions so that we can help supplement the poor DJs out there who aren't getting enough work. Instead, DJs had to change what they did. They had to bring down their overhead, which was easier with technology. They had to start to take more advantage of social media and free sites for listing. And in the case of Musitech, change the business model, add additional services, grow laterally, not just vertically. Ring your own bells. Everybody, if you've been noticing something that sounds like a cat toy, I'm wearing my bell from MojoCon. You're welcome. Jackholes. So they added sales of sound equipment for people who wanted to purchase it themselves and just have it. So you've got a corporation, a hotel or something that says, you know what, we're just going to invest in the equipment and have it on site as opposed to bringing somebody in. Or rentals. We'll just rent the equipment and have somebody from the office be the DJ for the day. It's cheaper. Same for brides and grooms. and then doing the installation. Okay, we've got the product. Now we'll be the ones to come in and put it in for you. They changed their business model. Understand, farmers, we love you and we understand that you are the backbone of America. Not these large frig-off farms, and we'll get into that, but just normal American. The families have owned the land for a century, and they've been working that land, and that is all a beautiful thing as long as you're replenishing the land and you're not overworking it. You can change. You can learn about what is the future for your market. And you can change, and you can grow, and you can adjust, or you can lose. But continuing to allow China to take advantage of the entire nation in the way it does, in boosting costs of goods that America could be selling for all categories, not just agriculture, just in expectation of continuing to supplement your industry. Sorry, that's the libertarian in me. I can't. I can't even. Okay? Speaking of goods and services and such, I don't know if everybody saw this, but I want to make sure that you know about it because it's important. General Mills has recalled their gold medal flour for possible E. coli contamination. All right? Gold medal flour. You know the one. It's everywhere. Unbleached, all-purpose flour. So General Mills had announced the voluntary recall of this stuff. The recall applies to 5-pound bags that are stamped with a better if used by September 6th, 2020. No other bags or dates are affected, they're saying. So far, there have been no illnesses linked to the product, but they have found a strain of E. coli. And this one usually sickens people within 3 to 4 days of exposure, the CDC says. Symptoms include, are you ready? Diarrhea, cramps. But patients typically recover within a week. So, it's only a 7-day recovery time. Diarrhea, cramps, some people get that all the time anyway, so why not go ahead and take your chances? There are several flours that could be contaminated with the E. coli 026. The recall included flours from King Arthur, Pillsbury, and Aldi's Baker's Corner. At least 21 people from 9 states have been affected between December and May. But we're just now getting this information that General Mills has recalled their gold medal flour. There you go. You're welcome. You know what? Don't use flour. Don't use wheat flour. Don't use corn flour. That's me. I'm just saying, for your health, I still say everybody needs to switch over to almond flour and cassava flour. And I have found that there are many things that I can make with these that are just as good as using wheat flour, whether people want to believe me or not or agree. I'm so tired of everybody being so pesky about changing their diets when you know you need to. You know who needs to change his diet? And Antonio Brown. And it is unfortunate that his last name is Brown. When I found this story in the New York Post, Antonio Brown, of course, now playing for, who's he playing for now? Oh, that's right. I don't want to get into it. At the time that he was a Pittsburgh Steeler, Antonio Brown farted in my face and still owes me $11,000. This is according to his doctor. Antonio Brown's former doctor says the football star repeatedly farted in his face and laughed about it during a consultation where he showed up 3 hours late. So we already know this guy is rude and unhinged. I'm starting to think that the reason why he is misbehaving so badly and has no darn sense is because his diet is messed up. And obviously this excess flatulation, I think that proves my point. Dr. Victor Prisk said he was wary of working with the Pittsburgh Steeler because he had a reputation for being flighty and not paying his bills, but agreed to take him on as a client anyway. And apparently there's video of this happening. Like, Antonio Brown goes to the doctor's office, brings a friend with him. The friend videos the guy farting on his doctor and laughing about it. And TMZ's gotten a hold of that. I'll let you find that for yourself. I decided not to play that for audio effect. In the video, Brown jokes, "I had a lot of fiber, bro." There you go. What kind of fiber are you having, Antonio? He tells you he's going to make it totally worth your while, Prisk says. And then he wanted me to go into business with him, but he changed his mind. And Antonio agreed to a $500 hourly rate with this doctor, which he's got the money to pay it, but then walked, owing this doctor $11,500. Wow. You've got that much money? It's possible that he's just really busy with all the other drama going on. Moving to the Patriots, involved in a sexual misconduct suit, sexual assault lawsuit that's been filed against him and so forth. And maybe this bill has just, it's been on his desk and he just hasn't had a time to take a look at it. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses for the fellow here, but I really think that he would do better in life. I think that he needs to address whatever else is in his diet besides all the fiber he's having. So this story has to be the way that I end my day today, and this is because I love all of you so much. Newsweek. Massive semen explosion after a blaze hits a bull artificial insemination facility. Firefighters forced to dodge the projectiles. Okay, let's unpack this, shall we? We have a friend over on the MeWe's and the Twitters, Backyard Cows. Everybody find Backyard Cows and friend him and find out where he was when this happened. Okay. Oh, no, this happened in Australia. It was not Backyard Cows. He may have contributed, but he wasn't there at the time of the explosion. Okay. A huge fire at a cattle breeding facility in Australia has caused thousands of dollars in damage after at least 1,000 cylinders containing bull semen were destroyed. So many little bulls, not going to happen this year. Emergency services were called to the blaze. According to local news, it took 10 fire crews more than 2 hours to fully extinguish the fire after it broke out. 10 fire crews. And this is in Victoria, Gippsland. I mean, I think 10 fire crews. And that's a lot of fire around, bull semen. Okay, so the liquid inside the cylinders was rapidly expanding, and essentially the lids of the cryogenic cylinders were just popping off, and they were projectiles, and they were being thrown from the building. So the firefighters had to go into defensive mode initially to protect themselves because there were also cylinders at a neighboring property that started overheating and popping off. Okay, so the fireman spokesperson adding that they've never had anything to do with artificial insemination before, that side of things before, so now they're learning a lot. This is the first time for them in their careers. URAM Herd Services Committee Vice Chairman Aaron Thomas said that the loss of the 100 cryogenic cylinders of cattle semen will be a, quote, huge blow, unquote, for the farmers. And the actual cylinders were worth between $500 and $1,000 per unit. Hey, we like to talk about economic opportunity here on That's What She Said and Mojo 50. Wow, it's the end of the show. I hope I've ended the show on a good note for you guys. I'm Jennifer Torres. This is That's What She Said. Have a happy Wednesday, y'all. Have a happy hump day. See you tomorrow.
That's what she said. Every news story comes with a happy ending.
Graduation parties,
Bar mitzvahs,
weddings, it's all coming up fast. Have you found the entertainment yet? You need a DJ, a KJ, or an MC with experience, quality equipment, and a killer playlist. You need the World of Audiovisual Event Services. Waves. Visit musitech.net and book your Waves entertainment now. Waves.
Fuse AV, the fusion of today's technology with custom design. Ease your business into the 21st century while retaining your company's style and branding. We custom design audiovisual solutions for businesses big and small. You'll be so successful your wife will finally quit her job and make sandwiches like she's supposed to. Ow! Educated in sound engineering with decades of experience, visit musitech.net.
Visit musitech.net for more information about Fuse AV.